just take there, just so that it's probably not working. It's okay, I can put it back here. I'll just use the kartal.
Try now.
You can put it. It's all right. Bring the kartal. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Vallabha Radha Vallabha Vallabh Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. बोलो ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, chapter number 1, the Supreme Lord is equal to everyone. Text number 3. Canto number 7, chapter 1, verse number 3. Iti naha sumaha bhaga narayana गुणान प्रति संशयः सुमहान जातस् तद भवांस चेतुम अर्हति इति न सुमहाभागा नारायण गुणान प्रति संशया सुमहान जातस तद भवांस चेतुम अर्हति इति न सुमहाभागा नारायण गुणान प्रति संशया सुमहा जातस तद भवांस चेतुम अर्हति इति न सुमहाभागा नारायण गुणान प्रति संशया सुमहान जातस तद भवांस चेतुम अर्हति इति न सुमहाभागा नारायण गुणान प्रति संशय सुमहान जातस तद भवांस चेतुम अर्हति इति न सुमहाभागा नारायण गुणान प्रति संशय सुमहान जातस तद भवांस चेतुम अर्हसि इति न सुमहाभागा नारायणान गुणा प्रति संशया सुमहान जातस तद भावांश चेतुम अर्हसि इति न सुमहाभागा नारायण गुणापति संशया सुमहान जातस tad bhavams chetum arhati. Tinasu mahabhaga narayana gunan prati. Samsayasu mahan jatas tad bhavams chetum arhati. Iti, thus, nah, our, Sumahabhaga, O glorious one, Narayana, Gunan, the qualities of Narayana, Prati, toward, Samshayaha, doubt, Sumahan, very great, Jataha, born, Tat, that, Bhavan, your lordship, Chetum arhati, please dispel. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. O greatly fortunate learned Brahmana, whether Narayan is partial or impartial has become a subject of great doubt. Kindly dispel my doubt with positive evidence that Narayana is always neutral and equal to everyone. Please repeat after me. O greatly fortunate and learned Brahmana, whether Narayan is partial or impartial, has become a subject of great doubt. Kindly dispel my doubt with positive evidence that Narayana is always neutral and equal to everyone. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Since Lord Narayan is absolute, his transcendental qualities are described as one. Thus, his punishments and his offerings of favor are both of the same value. Essentially, his inimical actions are not displays of enmity toward his so-called enemies. But in the material field, one thinks that Krishna is favorable to a devotee or to devotees and unfavorable to non-devotees. When Krishna finally instructs in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja, this is meant not only for Arjuna, but for every living entity within this universe. Om ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalaka chaksurunmilitamena tasmai shri guruve namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So thank you all the devotees and thank you Mataji, Narayani Mataji for being here to give your message on us. Thank you. So we have seen in the last canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, towards the end of last canto, how the Pumsavan Vrat was performed by whom? Who performed the Vrat? Diti. And who gave her the instructions to perform this Vrat? Kashyapa Muni. The husband actually gave instructions to Diti to perform this Vrat. What was the purpose of the husband? Why did he asked his wife to perform a Vaishnava Vrat? Very nice, very nice. Such wonderful children. Very nice children here and in Melbourne. And they recite the Bhagavatam very nicely, very clearly. Hari Bol. So, yes, very true. That's very correct. And yes, because he was envious, she was envious. She wanted to somehow to kill Lord Indra, but the husband, Kashyap Muni, actually gives her a Vaishnav vrat to perform so that she gets purified of that impure desire. Because this is not a good desire to have, to kill a devata. And we know that that vrat was performed, so that was the end of last canto, and now we have started another very important canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We know that Śrīmad Bhāgavatam has got how many cantos? 12 cantos, and how many chapters? How many chapters does Śrīmad Bhāgavatam have? 18 chapters is in the Śrīmad Bhagavad Gita. How many in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? Swati? 333, very close. 356, a bit far. Yes? Very close, Mataji, 335, Haribol. So 335 chapters, we should remember. There are 335 chapters in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and we have, in the 10th canto, we have how many chapters? How many chapters? Very nice. 90 chapters describing the pastimes of the Lord. And we have, in this chapter, this canto is a very important canto, 7th canto, because it has got how many chapters? 73 chapters. 73 chapters in this canto. And like apart from Lord Krishna's pastimes, like we have Lord Krishna's pastimes described in those 90 chapters in the 10th canto. Of course, there are other pastimes in the first canto also, and a little bit in the 9th canto as well. But we see that in details we have all the beautiful pastimes in the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And after that, this is the longest canto, and this describes his wonderful devotee called Prahlad Maharaj. So we know that Prahlad Maharaj is described in this canto, his nice pastimes and appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev. And we see that Prahlad Maharaj's teachings are so important that Prabhupada puts the verse, one very important verse, in the preface of every volume, or every volume of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Which verse is that? Prabhupada puts in every preface, Prabhupada puts one verse, and that's spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. Which verse is that? Kaumar acharet pragyo dharman bhagvataniha durlabam manusham janma tadapi adruvam artadam. So Prabhupada puts that, it's so important, the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, and of course Prahlad Maharaj's beautiful pastimes and his devotion is given in this chapter, and Prabhupada puts this, and this is actually 7.6.1 of the Bhagavatam, or from this canto. So here we know that the questions are being asked by three verses, and in 3 verses questions about the Lord, about the qualities of the Lord. So here there is one special quality of the Lord, and which is causing a bit of bewilderment in whom? Who's hearing? Who's the speaker here at the beginning, and who's hearing? It's Parikshit Maharaj hearing, and who's speaking? Sukadeva Goswami. So the king is a bit bewildered. How can Lord Narayana Guna Prati Samshaya? The Samshaya is regarding Lord's guna, Lord's qualities. Narayana Guna Prati, Gun ke Prati Samshaya. There is a doubt regarding the gun of Narayana. And it's Sumahan, it's not only little samshaya, but great samshaya, very big doubt, great doubt that has been created in the mind of the king, Raja Parikshit, King Parikshit. And So he wants Sukadeva Goswami, Tad Bhavams, your Lordship. So it's addressing him with great respect. Bhavams chetum arhati. Please dispel this doubt. Because doubt is very dangerous. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Agyascha ashradanascha samshayatma vinashyati nayam lokosti na paro na sukham samshayatmana. Thus, the person who is always doubtful can never be happy. The doubt is something we should get freed from. Agyascha ashradanascha samshayatma. The doubtful soul falls down. So that's why we see that Arjuna, in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna had so many doubts. And of course, at the beginning, he was thinking that he was a very learned scholar and all his reasons are very, very valid. And he's giving so many wonderful reasons in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. But Lord Krishna says that asocyanano sochastam pragyavadamsya bhasase gatasuna gatasumsya nanu sochanti pandita. And he says you are speaking very, very learned words, but a learned person actually doesn't actually lament for the living or for the dead. He was thinking he was very learned, but when Krishna started speaking, then he came to know how ignorant he was. So we know that there is always doubts, and the doubts should be, when we have doubts, what should we do? We should approach? We should approach a bona fide spiritual master and see with humbleness, with respect, and with service attitude. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says in the 4th chapter, what does he say? How should we approach? Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. That is what Lord Krishna says. What's the meaning of that? What's the meaning of that verse? One should? Yeah. With humble attitude, yeah? With humbleness, with service, with serve, and then inquire. Very nice. Service, with humility, service, and then you inquire from the spiritual master. And that's why we see that in the Bhagavad Gita, we have a lot of questions being asked by Arjuna. So many questions. He says, Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham anye vayuriva sudushkaram. What's the meaning of that? This is a question of Arjuna. What's the meaning of this? Chanchalam himana Krishna. The mind is so chanchal, restless. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balavadridam. It can easily be agitated. Pramati balavadridam. Tasya. Dridam means obstinate. Dridam. Tasyaham nigramhane vayuriva sudushkaram. This is a question. It is to control it. Nigraha, or to control it, is just like controlling the wind. It's so hard to control the mind. And of course, then Lord Krishna answers, Asamshaya mahabhava manodur nigraham chalam abhyasena tu konteya vairagyena cha grihyate. Yes, there's no doubt about it. Whatever you're saying is correct. But there is a way to control it. And that is by two things. And that is practice and detachment. By practice and detachment, the mind could be controlled. So this is one of the questions. But there are so many other questions. And we see, why do people perform sinful activities? Arjuna is asking. He says that Atakena prayuktam pavam charati purusha anichanapi vashnya baladivani yujata. How can, looks like someone is forced to perform sinful activities. What is that which is making one perform sinful activities? What is that which is impelling one to perform sinful activities? And Arjuna, Lord Krishna answers the question, says, Kamesha krodesha rajoguna samudvaha mahashano mahapapma vidyena miha vairinam. What is that which is making one perform sinful activities? Lust, which actually turns into anger, and they are born from the mode of passion. Yeah. So there is, in the Bhagavad Gita, we have questions and answers. Questions of Arjuna and answers of Krishna. How many verses? Although it is called Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita means Song of the Lord. How many verses does Lord Krishna himself speak directly? How many do you have? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. How many verses? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha is how many? 5, 7, 5. How many? 5, 7, 5. It's called Bhagavad Gita, but there are four speakers, 4 people speaking. How many? Who is the first one? Of course, Krishna. 575 verses. And Arjuna is the one who is asking questions to Lord Krishna. And Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra spoke how many verses? 1. Dhritarashtra vacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samveta yusavaha mamaka pandavascheva kimakurvata Sanjaya. That is only verse that Dhritarashtra spoke. Dhritarashtra vacha. Krishna spoke 575. Dhritarashtra spoke 1. How many did Arjuna speak? Arjuna spoke 83 verses. And Sanjaya spoke the remaining, which is 700 minus 83 minus 575 minus 1, which is equal to 41. So 41 verses were spoken by Sanjaya. 1 by Dhritarashtra, 41 by, how many by Arjuna? 83, and Krishna, 575. So we have questions of Arjuna, answers of Krishna. Similarly, here Śrīmad Bhāgavatam also contains questions and answers. We have very nice questions in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Atha prichhami samsiddhim yoginam paramam gurum purusasya yat karyam mriyamanasya sarvata. So he is also, like Parikshit Maharaj is asking question, what is the duty of every living being at all the time? Especially I would like to know what a person who is very close to death should do. So this is a wonderful question. It's meant for us. He's already hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, of course. And it's meant for us. So here Prabhupada actually gives the answers as well. The questions are given because the first 3 verses actually contain questions, but Srila Prabhupada is giving the answers in the purport as well. How Krishna is actually not partial. He is equal to everyone. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that he is equal to everyone in one of the verses. Where does he say? Samoham sarva bhutesu namedasyasti na priya ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mahiteteshu chapyaham. He says, I am equal to everyone. But samoham sarva bhutesu namedasyasti na priya. There is no one who is dear to me, and there is no one whom I envy, or who is not dear to me. They are all equal to me because he is a father. Will a father be equal to like have different acharan, behavior towards his kids, his children? His sarva yonishu kontya murtya sambhavantiya tasam brahma mahadyoni raham bija pradapita. Aham bija pradapita. I am the seed giving father of all living entities. How will he be partial? Can he be partial? No, he cannot, because he is equal to everyone. And also there is mention here, Prabhupada actually mentions also about the 3 qualities, the 3 gunas. 3 gunas are acting on us, but not on the Lord. And Prabhupada is so merciful, he's giving the answers before actually Sukadeva Goswami starts giving. So that if anyone reads one verse, at least they might decide to read only one verse out of the how many verses in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? Out of the how many? 18,000 verses. If someone reads one verse and reads the translation and purports, still they will benefit. So that's why you see that Prabhupada is talking about the importance of devotional service in every verse of the Bhagavad Gita. When Lord Krishna actually talks about the surrender at the end, But he's asking everyone to surrender right from the beginning. Even if you start reading the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you should know what the real goal of Bhagavad Gita is. The real goal of the Bhagavad Gita is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vrajaham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishami Masucha. So that is the purpose. Everyone should surrender unto me. And of course, in this yuga, there is a very easy way to surrender unto the Supreme Lord. So, and also Prabhupada has given very nice, word by word meaning so that we can all understand. Yeah, there was one person who had come to. So I'm not from New Zealand actually. I'm not from here actually. I'm from New Zealand. So in a place called Dunedin, which is quite a cold place. And someone said here the temperature is like in one day you can have 4 seasons in Melbourne. So we also have similar sort of weather there. You can have all the seasons in one day. Sometimes snowing and sunshine and rain and everything in one day. So there one student came to the university and she was from China and she did not know how to she was using one small translator translating program, and she would put in like the English, and then it will translate into Chinese, and that's how she would communicate with people, and that's how at the beginning it was hard for her. And so at the beginning one of the friends from New Zealand had somehow became friend with one girl there, and then this girl invited her, said, please come to a housewarming ceremony. So please come to the housewarming ceremony. So she was thinking what gift I should take, and she went to the supermarket there, in the shop there, and then she was looking for a gift. And then she tried to put that housewarming thing, in that little translating program that she had, and then she got a translation back, and then she went to the place where they had this housewarming thing, and she ended up taking a heater because the program said, heating up the house. So heating up the house, and she ended up taking a heater as the gift, thinking that we are all going to a program where you are heating the house warming. So housewarming means heating up the house. So Prabhupada is, so merciful, is giving us very nice translation so that we can understand the actual meaning of all these verses. And so yes, the three gunas are there, and Lord is not under the control of the 3 modes. Lord is actually transcendental to the 3 modes. And Lord, even in the Bhagavad Gita, we have mention of the 3 modes, gunaneta natitya trin dehi dehi samandbhavan janma mrityu jara dukher vimukta amritam. So Lord Krishna says that one who becomes transcendental to the 3 modes, then such a person actually janma mrityu jara dukher becomes freed from vimukto amritam ashnute, becomes free from janma mrityu jara dukher. Janma means birth, mrityu means death, jara means old age, dukher means the distresses. So janma mrityu jara dukher vimukto amritam ashnute, becomes freed from all this, and amritam ashnute, and actually tastes the real nectar. So, or comes to that transcendental platform. And then Arjuna asked, Kair lingesh trin gunaneta natito bhavati pravo kimachara katam chetams trin gunanati vartate. What is the behavior of such a person, and what are the symptoms of such a person, and how can one actually transcend the 3 modes? So when talking about what kind of person that is, then Lord Krishna says that sama duk sukha swasta samalostasma kanchana and tulya ninda. So sama duk sukha swasta. Sukha dukha one who has transcended these 3 modes, becomes freed from Sukha and dukkha. Sukha means happiness. Dukkha means distress. Sama dukkha sukha swasta sama loshtasma kanchana. That become, for that person, what is equal? Sama loshta, asma and kanchana. What is what do you call loshta? Dela means earth. Earth, for such a person, earth, asma, stone, and kanchana, kanchan is same. Gold is same. Tulya ninda stutirmoni, such a person, if is not actually disturbed by ninda or stuti. Ninda and stuti. Ninda means if someone criticizes you, ninda. And stuti means someone praises you. One is equal in both. And also tulya, mitra and ari. Mitra and ari. Ari means, mitra means friends, ari means enemy, ari. Like we have mrigari, mrig, ari, mrigari, right? One who is the enemy of animals. Murari, mura-ari, murari. Who's Murari? Krishna. Mura-ari, Mura, he killed the demon Mura, so it's Murari. And these are the qualities of a person who actually, or the behavior of a person who has transcended the three modes. And how can one transcend the three modes? The three modes of material nature? How can one change their nature? Is there any way to do that? Devotional service. Arjuna asked that as well. And then Lord Krishna says, Mam cha yo vibicharena bhakti yogena sevate sa gunan samiti taitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So yes, it is possible, and that is by devotional service to me, unto me. And if one performs devotional service to me, one transcends the three modes. And the three modes are actually, by three modes one is considering someone as friend, someone as enemy, and attachment and detachment is all because of the three modes. So if one can perform devotional service to the Lord and become freed from the three modes, the person whom we are performing devotional service to, do you think he is under the control of the three modes? How can that person be under the control of the three modes when one who, if one takes shelter of such a person, one gets freed from the three modes? If one is bound, right, how can that person free others? And we are actually bound by the three modes. Because sattva, rajas, tama iti guna prakriti sambhava nibadananti mahabhava dehi dinamavyam. We are conditioned, we are bound by the three modes of material nature, but not Lord. Lord is not bound by the three modes of material nature. So here, this is actually the third question. And of course in the previous question, Lord is mentioned as Sama, Priya, Suhirda. He's Sama, he's equal to everyone. He's Priya, he's dear to everyone. He's Suhirda. He's Suhirda to only the Devatas. Is he a well-wisher of the Devatas only? Why not? He's Suhirdam Sarva Bhutanam. Bhoktaram Yagatapsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhirdam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Shantim Richati. He is the well-wisher of everyone, not only the Devatas. He is dear to everyone. He is Samaha. But we know that, the question, all these are questions actually. How can such a Lord be partial, partial to the Devatas? And he's Nishrayas Atmanaha. He is not, he doesn't actually need to get anything done. Like someone becomes dear to us because if they do something for us, like we want something done and they do it for us, and then they become very dear to us. And if we want to get something done and someone becomes an obstacle, then that person becomes he becomes an enemy. But for Lord, is there anything to attain in this world? Is there anything that Lord doesn't have? Is there anything that Lord wants us to, do it for Him? So there's nothing. Lord is complete in Himself. He's fully satisfied. His Atma Rama is always full of bliss, and He doesn't need to get things from us. But of course, for our benefit, He is saying, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, Yome Bhaktya Prechati Tadaham Bhaktya Paritam Asnami Pretatmana. It doesn't mean that the Lord doesn't have any fruits or flower, and He has got trees actually. Chintamani Prakarasad Masu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshabrite Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasrasad Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So he's got so many Lakshmis saving him, thousands and millions of Lakshmis, and he's got Kalpa Vriksha, he's got Kamdhenu, he's got Chintamani, everything is made of Chintamani. Do you think Lord doesn't have all these things that He's asking us to offer to Him? No. What Lord is asking for is love and devotion. It's for our benefit. If we can offer these things with love and devotion to the Lord, it's for our benefit. He's always thinking of our benefit. He always wants to take the living entities to back to his abode, because we are all part and parcel of the Lord. Mamivamsa jivaloke jiva bhuta sanatana manasastani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. We are all part and parcel of the Lord. Sarva yonishu kaunteya, we are all His children. And jivera swarupaya Krishna Nityadas. This is our swarupa. This is actual constitutional position. So that's why we see that Lord is always giving us all these instructions, and also He's giving us all these beautiful instructions, very wonderful instructions through His devotees. Yeah. So this is Itina Sumaha Bhaga Narayana Guna Prati Samshaya Sumahan Jatas Tad Bhavams Chetumarasi. Please dispel my doubt. Please free me from this doubt. I don't want to have this doubt, this samshaya. And your Bhavan Chetumarasi. Just like Arjuna, to get freed from the doubt, what did he do? What did Arjuna do? Arjuna took shelter of the Lord first. Karpanye dosho pahata swabhava prichami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yachriyasya nishitam bruhitan me sishyaste ham sadimam tvam prapannam. I am your disciple, surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. And by the instructions of Krishna, Arjuna's doubt was gone. And how did Arjuna hear? Did he hear nicely? It's very important. Hearing nicely is very, very important, because there is one story where there's in Padma Purana it's mentioned that for Dundukari, Gokarna actually recited Bhagavatam. For Dundukari, there was one person who had become a ghost. For his deliverance, Gokarna recited Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And then there were all villages, and all of them had the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. But what happened after the recital of the Bhagavatam was complete? Only Dundukari was taken by the associates of the Lord. The Viman came, the plane from Vaikuntha came, and he was taken. And then all the other people were asking Gokarna, how is this happening? This is not right, because we also had Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. He had, we also had. But why are we not being taken? Why are we left behind? And then, they were told that you all did not hear as attentively as Dundukari. So that's why you are not being delivered. So then Gokarna had to recite the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam again, and then the whole village got delivered, and they were taken by the associates of the Lord, taken back to the spiritual world. So that is the importance of attentive hearing, and that's why Lord Krishna, after speaking the whole Bhagavad Gita, he's asking Arjuna, Kachid eta chrutam partha to ekagrena cheta, kachid agyana samoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. Kachid etachrutam parta. Have you heard this? Tvaikagrena chetasa. Ekagrena chetasa means ekagra chit. Have you heard it attentively? Kachid ajnana samoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. Has your ignorance gone? And then he says, what does he say? Nashto moha spriti labda tvat prasadan maya chuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Yes, I am free from ignorance now. And I am regained my memory. And I'm situated in my true self now. And now, what should I do? What will I do? Karishye vachanam tava. I will act according to your instruction. So that's how we can see his sanshaya was gone. And we have so many other examples in the scriptures. We also have Garud, who was bewildered after he freed Lord Ramachandra from that snake rope, snake pass or nag pass. And then he gets bewildered. He thinks, how can Ramachandra be the supreme? How can he be the Lord when I had to free him from that pass? And then he had to go and hear Ram Katha. And then only he got freed from the bewilderment. So, when you hear attentively, then you can get freed from doubts. Yeah, the doubts. And doubts are actually like, they're like darkness of ignorance. So we get freed by the Krishna Katha or by the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So chanting of the Mahamantra actually purifies us. Hearing of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, this actually purifies us. That's why we have Cheto Darpana Marjanam. The mirror of the heart, Darpan, is dirty. The Chit is like, the heart is like a mirror. Just like in the mirror you can't see yourself if the mirror is dirty. So similarly you cannot see your true self, that I am not actually this body, I am Krishna's part and parcel, I am meant to serve him. All these things, when we start chanting the Mahamantra, of course there is different mantras for different ages. There is one scripture called Ananta Sahita. And Ananta Sahita says that in the Satyuga there was a mantra which people used to chant. This is mentioned in Ananta Sahita. There are many scriptures talking about the holy name of the Lord for this age. So in this it says, Narayana Paraveda, Narayana Parakshara, Narayana Paramukti, Narayana Paragati. That is for Satyuga. And for Treta Yuga it is Rama Narayana Nanta Mukunda Madhusudana, Krishna Kesava Kamsare, Hare Vaikuntha Vamana. That's for Treta. For Dwapar Yuga, Hare Murare Madhukaita Bare Gopala Govinda Mukunda Sore Yagesha Narayana Krishna Vishnu Nirashrayam Mama Jagdisha Raksha. It's mentioned like 4 mantras for different ages. And for Kali Yuga, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So there was one person he suffered a heart attack in Europe somewhere, and he called his wife. His wife said, just call the ambulance and go to the hospital straight away, because he suffered a heart attack while he was driving. He stopped on the way, and then he called the wife. It looks like I've got a heart attack. His wife said, just call the ambulance and go to the hospital. We'll be there soon. And then this person was sitting in the ambulance and chanting. He had a different mantra that he was chanting. He was saying, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. He was chanting so loudly. In between, when the pain started increasing more, then he would say, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. And then they reached home. The ambulance actually took that person to his home. And the wife said, why did you bring him here? You should have taken him to the hospital. They said, no, those people who were, the emergency services in the ambulance, they were saying, no, he was shouting at us, saying, hurry home, hurry home, hurry home, hurry home. So we brought him at the home. What can we do? So please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. When we get freed from the ignorance by chanting of the Mahamantra, when we get purified. So in this Kali Yuga, there are so many bad habits, and Prabhupada actually purified so many, made hippies happy, and he went to America. But that purity is still not found. When I was coming through in the plane on Thursday, I was coming from Auckland to Melbourne in the flight. So there was one lady, she was eating something, and after eating, she must have ordered some from the ordered some meals, and after eating the meal, what she did, very dirty, we consider that to be very, very dirty. She just pulled her hair like that, and then she was flossing the teeth. And then she broke the hair, and then that was it. Using the hair to the floss they sell. Such bad, dirty habits. You consider if some food contains hair, you don't eat that. You consider it dirty. But this person is cleaning her teeth. Like cleaning, all the in between. What if something got stuck there? So using the hair, it's a multi-purpose hair. So using it is like a floss. But we can see Prabhupada actually purified so many. So many people, and so these beautiful questions, very nice questions. So first three verses only contain questions, only questions of Parikshit Maharaj, and the answers will come from the fourth text, which of course someone will speak on this topic. So I will ask you if you have any questions. If you don't have questions, probably we can speak a little bit more, and we still have time. I think we supposed to finish by 9? Okay. So yes, yeah, you always have wonderful questions. She's so young, and she always has very nice questions. Yes, you can ask. If you want, you can take this microphone and you can speak, and then you can bring this back. Yeah.
So you said that we sometimes get instructions through devotees, but we get instructions of Lord Krishna through devotees. But then sometimes we see in our case, there'll be devotees giving us different instructions according to their service mode and their attitude. So how do we know which one is Lord Krishna's that will benefit us spiritually?
So such a nice question. Actually, every day I've since Friday I've been coming to the class, and I've seen you asking so many nice questions. And this is also a very nice question. So a question is, we see I said, we should get instructions from devotees like here, from Krishna or his devotees. In this case, like Sukadeva Goswami. She's asking, sometimes devotees actually give some different instructions according to their mood, So how do you know what is to be carried out? Which instruction is to be carried out? Very nice question. Yeah. So anything that we hear from anyone, it should not come from their mind. It should come from the scriptures, because we have Lord Krishna saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Ya Shastra Vidhi Musrijya Vartate Kamakarta Na Sasiddhim Avapnoti Na Sukham Na Param Gatim. If you neglect the injunctions of the scriptures and act whimsically, then for you, there is no happiness, there is no supreme destination, and there is no perfection. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya karya vyavasito gyatva shastra vidanoktam karma kartum iharasi. Therefore, to know what is to be done and what is not to be done, you have to use the scriptures. But then, Shrutayo Vibhinna, there is so many scriptures and there is so many people giving different instructions. But it is mentioned, this is one of the verses in the Mahabharata, that dharmasya tattvam guhitam nihayam mahajanoena gathasa panta. Whatever path the Mahajanas have taken, we have to accept that. We accept the path of the Mahajanas. So Prabhupada is a Mahajan because once, one of the devotees said to Prabhupada used to quote that the names of the 12 Mahajanas, and one devotee said to Prabhupada, you are the 13th Mahajana. Prabhupada said, you are the 14th Mahajana. So anyone who follows the Mahajana is as good as a Mahajana. Right? So Mahajana enough. So we have to verify from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Anything that we do, we verify from Guru, Shastra, Sabda Praman, and Guru and the Shastra, Sadhus. And then we follow. Right? And sometimes, of course, there can be some changes according to place, time and circumstances. There could be some changes, but we should see whether those instructions will take me closer to Krishna or away from Krishna. If anything is taking us away from Krishna, then that's not a good instruction. Right? Because the purpose is to go closer to Krishna. Right? All the vidhi and nished is, what is the purpose of all the things that you have to do? Do this, do this, do this, do this. What is the purpose? So that we can always remember Krishna. Why not don't do this, 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 nishad? Why? So that we can never forget Krishna. Right? So it is mentioned that the real, there's one verse which says that Sampado Narayana Smriti Vipado Vismaranam Vishnu. Vipado neva vipada vipada vismaranam Vishnu. Sampado neva sampado Narayana Smriti. Real vipati is when we forget Vishnu. And real sampati is when we can always remember the Lord. So we should see the instructions, because that is what the purpose of the instruction is, to take us closer to Krishna. If it is taking us away from Krishna, it's making us forget Krishna, it's probably not a good instruction. Right? Haribol. Anything else? Did you want to ask something else? Please do ask. Huh? Yes, Prabhuji. No questions? Sure, no questions? What question did you ask yesterday? Hare Krishna. Okay, so you're asking very nice questions. It's very wonderful, very nice devotees here. So and very nice questions all the time. So you're part of the same family, or she's yes? That's your brother and that's your sister. You have got another sister as well. Oh, she's gone home. Okay. Yeah, very nice children, and she's always asking very nice questions. If and this is the greatness of this place, Melbourne. I can see very nice children, and that is what This is what we can see the future through them. Yeah, because Prabhupada actually quotes that verse, Kaumaracharet pragyo dharman bhagavataniha. Kaumaracharet pragyo. We should start devotional service from Kaumaravastha, from childhood. Because why is it important to start early? Why is it important to start early? Yes, durlabham manusham janma tadapi adruvam arthadam. Adruvam, it means it is temporary, it can be taken any time. We know this COVID virus, so many young people died, old people died. It's not that when death comes, it will only take the old people. Younger people can also die. So it's good, you're starting from very young age. Of course, it's not that the old people cannot practice. It doesn't mean that. It just means that the sooner you start, the better it is, right? And the death can come anytime, and we don't know whether we'll be as fortunate as we are now, because one is we have got this human body, which is very, very rare, right? Human body is very rare. Durlabham manusham janma. We have got this human body which is very, very rare, because there are so many different bodies, but out of those different kinds of body, the human body is very rare. And number two, we have got connected to Srila Prabhupada through this movement. We have come into this movement, and that's our great fortune again. Human body, because there are so many humans, but some of them are living like animals. Because Janma Mritya, there is there's a verse in the Mahabharata, Ahar Nidra Bhay Maitunam Cha Samanya Metat Pasubir Naranam. So eating, sleeping, mating, defending, is only those are the things they're busy doing. So that's as good as animal life. So that's not even human life. So coming into human body, and then getting a movement, getting connected to a movement like Prabhupada, that's our great, great fortune. Because Manushyanam Sahasrasu Kashchidaditi Siddhya Yatatamapi Siddhanam Kaschinvam Veti Tatvata. There's so many out of thousands, hardly anyone comes to know Lord Krishna. So being connected to Prabhupada, because Prabhupada is the one who is showing us the real path and giving us the message of Krishna. Krishna actually wants everyone to surrender. That is his samatha also. That is his samatha, and that's why it's given in the Bhagavad Gita that in the purport, is sama, equal. Because he's giving instructions, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vaja, aham tam sarva pape be mokshayishyami masucha. Is that meant for only the for us? No, it's meant for everyone. It's meant for those people who don't consider Krishna as the supreme, for them as well. It's mentioned this is meant for everyone. Anyone and everyone. It's not that Krishna is saying, okay, only some of you, I'm giving it to you, only this meant for you. No, it's for everyone, this instruction is. And that's also the samatha of Krishna. And so coming into this movement and getting the chance to associate with the devotees, and getting a chance to read Bhagavad Gita as it is, getting a chance to read Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, getting a chance to take darshan, a beautiful darshan of the beautiful lordships here. So this is our great, great fortune, and if we miss this opportunity, we don't know whether this will come again or not, or whether we'll get it or not. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Radha Vallabh Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai. Shri Gaurnitai Bhagwan ki jai. Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveda Bhaktivedanta ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all the devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Is it working? Hare Hare?
Yeah.
Working? A little bit, not very well. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, that's better.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Enam Kanvanda Maravinda Dalayatasham Bhāgavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundaranam Kandar Agom Nigamaniya Vishesha Shobha. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Angani Asa Sakale Priya Priti Manti Lasyan Dipan Dikayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsham Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sadivam Shadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitam Sham Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,